We'd like to welcome everyone today to a celebration of life for Werner. And it is a time of sharing, so we are going to open it up later in the service for anyone that has some stories or something that they want to share about this wonderful man with everyone here. What we're going to do is, first we're going to listen to a song that has a lot of special meaning for Werner and Anne, and kind of in the German tradition, which his brother Reinhard is going to talk about a little bit. So first we're going to start with a song that has a lot of meaning to Werner. At this time, I would ask Werner's brother Reinhard to come forward and share with us.
Thank you all for coming. Werner's family arrived in America in 1957 and settled in Southern California. He went to high school there, and he was active in sports, football and wrestling. And when he turned 18, he was eligible to become a U.S. citizen. He applied for citizenship, which was granted. And he became a citizen. At that time, around the late 60s, there was a lot of uproar in the country about the draft, and various young folks doing all kinds of maneuvers to attempt to avoid the draft. Werner's answer to that was, I'm going to sign up for 3 years, and he did. He was stationed in Fort Irwin, California for his duration of his service, working on a heavy equipment battalion that worked on tank retrievers and real heavy stuff for service, maintenance, and training. Okay, he led a full life in that he had many interests, some of which I was able to share with him. He was an avid motorcyclist, and when he and I would go on trips through the Southern California canyons, his specialty was to disappear in the distance and then wait for me to finally come around and take a picture of me as I came around that last corner. I was a saner driver, that's all I can say. Some of his other interests were bicycling. He was an avid bicyclist. And to me, his big ride one day was to ride from the Pomo, California, up Highway 1 to Monterey, which is nothing but steep ups and downs for 50 miles. And I said, wow, it's a good thing I rode my motorcycle up here. In other interests of his were, he was a furniture maker. For a while, he thought that would be his calling. And I observed him one day making a chair that, the wonder to me was the chair's backrest had all these splines, or the spines, every one of which was at a different angle. I said, wow, how do you line all those up so they meet the top at the same? So that was my observation of his furniture making. Professionally, he started in a machine shop and worked his way to draftsman, and did that for a while for a company called Rotoflow, which makes turbo expanders for the oil industry. He worked his way up through that company and its successors, and one of his main contributions to the company was to convert it from drafting on stand-up boards and pencil and paper and blueprints and to upgrade it into the modern electronic world. He was told by his boss that really helped his company compete in modern days when people don't draw by hand anymore. How are you going to transmit a drawing to some other place? So his boss really appreciated that. And it also allowed Werner, with his boss's permission, to come to Richland Center to produce control boxes for these turbo expanders. He was very ably assisted by Genevieve Atkinson for many years. And that was his last job. He retired last year. I don't know how many years he spent there, a long time. Okay. In summary, I can only say that Werner lived a full life. He had many interests, some of which filtered up to me, his older brother. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll try that. And so I just think he lived a full life. I like to end with a stanza from a poem by Franklin Rice, who was a sports writer in the 20s or 30s. And the stanza goes as follows. When the one great scorer comes to write against your name, he'll write not that you won or lost, but how you played the game. And then you played the game well, the game of life. We miss you.
Thank you, Reinhard. Next, we're going to have Ann come forward and share some memories, and after Ann, we're going to open it up to anyone else that would like to share some stories or some memories about Werner. Ann.
thank you all for being here, taking the time in the snow. Yeah. So, it's remembering the good times, the happy times. Werner really did like spending time with family, particularly around the holidays. We get together for Thanksgiving, Christmas. Probably maybe saw some pictures. Those were special for us. We get to like Christmas, Thanksgiving, sometimes Labor Day, have a barbecue. In our home, we really loved sharing that with family. Thank you for that. And of course, Werner loved all his motorcycles. I at first would ride behind him. We had one accident that kind of skidded me a little bit, and I tried one other time to get on the back of him. I thought, no, but he'd have some accidents and he'd bounce right back. It was really good. That's even how I kind of met Werner. I met him at a bar, and I guess we were really connecting and all that stuff. And he said, "Come outside. I want to show you something." He showed me his motorcycle, because to know him is to know him through his motorcycles. He was that type of guy. It's almost like a chronology thing, just saying things that he did enjoy, he loved. Was also our first house. We were so happy after living in an apartment. We moved to Nipomo, California, and had our first house on an acre of land. We thought that was really big. Now we have about 5, 6, or 10 acres, but at that time it was important to us. Then of course the birth of our daughter, Ingrid. And later on, when we, many years, the birth of our granddaughter, family was key. Now within the last couple of years, our biggest joy also was being mortgage free. That's a great feeling to know that you don't have to make house payments anymore because you own that house. Werner did, of course, like Reinhardt said, he loved activities. And towards the end of this, he liked riding his e-bike. He had one, and he had me he told me, "Come on, you try one." I was like, "Oh, those are for sissies, blah, blah, blah." Eventually I got one, and it's like, of course, yeah, it's really fun. So we go on 20-mile bike rides right in the Twin Bluff area and all that. It was really nice. And of course, he loved volleyball. I know there's some people that played volleyball with him. Racquetball. Tom was here. I don't think Tom's here now, but he just played with, and they just all loved him. He had to give it up after a while, but as much as he could, he always liked volleyball because he played in California. If you live in Culver City, it's right on the beach. So you go along the beach and have what they call pickup games. He just really liked that. I'll remember what I call, there were plenty of vacations, but our cool vacations. First one being when Ingrid got married in Hawaii, Oahu. That was, to me, I loved that vacation. We had a kind of a schedule, if you will. I'd go running in the morning in Oahu. That was really cool. And then come home. Well, the hotel was like our home. It was our home. We were about there about 2 weeks. So then, I take a shower. I get breakfast from, if you ever heard of them, they're called ABC stores. They're like a quick trip. They're on every single corner. So that was fun. Just, get some hard-boiled eggs, some Kona coffee, and read the paper for a little bit, and then Werner would say, "Hey, you want us to go sightseeing?" So yeah, we'd go to Diamond Head, we'd go see some sinkholes that would spout out, and see the beautiful flowers on the trees and smell it. It's just, that to me is still my most favorite vacation. We went on a cruise to the Tahitian Islands. There was one picture of these right by that grass hut. It's that typical thing, just right along the outside of the ocean. And we stayed in Tahiti for a day or two, and then went to some other French Polynesian islands on a cruise. Really nice, just 350 people total on that cruise ship. It was really nice. I had a good time. Loved it. And then our last vacation that we had was with our granddaughter, Sophia. We went, within 2 weeks, we covered a lot of national parks. I won't say them all, but Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Devil's Tower, the Arches in Moab, and also Canyonlands, and seeing Needles Highway, the $1 Million Highway as you're passing through the different landscapes, and we just went daily, every day. It was like, okay, go to sleep. Boom, let's go cover it. We covered a lot. And we hope it was a really nice thing for Sophia. And she can tell you everything more so than I can. Oh yeah, this is my artwork, Granny, on Highway 90. I remember we were in Moab. And so it was good for her. Things, of course, I'll miss about him. All these things, but even simplicity things like we go to Madison and just do the typical things, maybe go to Costco or Whole Foods or whatever, and then have lunch and just kind of shoot the breeze, or not, because we're both quiet people, believe it or not, Werner could be quiet. So I'll miss that. I like how we puttered around the outdoors to just have our house, just to take care of things, whether it's a weed or some repair or maintenance. I'll miss our evenings when in summer, when it's nice and warm. We have our fire pit. We go out there, just kind of, he start fire, and we just sit and watch the sunset, and that was beautiful. I enjoyed that. And I do it by myself now, but I'll have memories of it. So. And the last thing I'll say was very special. Since the last thing is Wednesdays. Werner and Sophia get together, just on a date, if you will, just to spend quality time, to go to the Phoenix or maybe Subway. And now Sophia and I do that, and I really value that. This will carry on the tradition of Werner. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, we're going to open it up. If anyone would like to share some memories of Werner, please come forward. We'd love to hear some different stories and memories you have of Werner. So if anyone would like to come forward at this time, we'll give you a couple moments.
I'm Genevieve. I met Werner playing volleyball with Grave on Sunday nights at a UW Richland. And we became good friends because we were both different countries, and we would just talk about how to fix America or things. In 2004, Werner introduced me to Texas Turbine, so that's where we worked together. And also the time where he was my good friend, but he became my supervisor, and he also became my mentor. He was very specific, drilling, meticulous, and obviously the work demanded that, but I learned a lot on computers from him until last summer when he retired. We would call each other, or I would call him, or he could call me, and we would do, shoot the breeze, I guess. But I guess Werner was always also very available to help my family, especially when my husband passed away. I could, hey Werner, my tractor doesn't work, or my tiller is not starting, and he would come and say, hey, I'll be right there, I'll help you. So I missed that. The other day, actually, I was on a computer and I couldn't figure out, and I thought, I'm going to call Werner. And I realized, well, I can't because he's not here anymore. I talked to Werner the afternoon before he passed away, and he was really looking forward to Christmas and spending time with Reinhardt and the family. And also, I guess I'll refer to Werner liked life. And he lived life to his fullest. When he did something, he did it his way, but he did it. And he loved biking. So I wish you farewell, my friends, in your new journey to eternity. And for all you did and all the memory you gave all of us, thank you.
Anyone else?
Hello, I'm Dale Mortimer. Also met Werner through volleyball along with Genevieve. I remember he used to say a few times he enjoyed the part of being 15 years older than me, and I was one of the older guys, and being able to keep up with those young guys, you know. So, and he was quick, fit man. So, you know, it's, up at Phoenix Center, it was so awesome seeing Sophia and him having their date night and having a burger. And also, I know he was very proud she's in volleyball. It's something they have a mutual interest in. So, just one story. I forget what year it was. My son was in UW Platteville for mechanical engineering, and we were at the bowling alley on a Friday night. He was coming back to join us, and that's when Werner just had his first e-bike. And so I said, Werner, Adam gets here, let him ride it, you know. And so when Adam got there, he said, yeah, they came up with these new bearings that are really slick. They go like you wouldn't believe. And so jumped on the bike and took off, and he came back and just couldn't believe the technology of these bearings. Then we had to share that it was an electric bike. So anyway, so got a little kick out of that. But all in all, you know, all the chats we had with Werner, you know, I think back, I don't think there was one time I ever walked away without knowing exactly where Werner stood on something. His point of view. But obviously, we're all going to miss him, and we're all better off having known him. So, thank you.
Anyone else?
My name is Jan, and I came to the US in 2012 as a contractor first, and I stayed in the White House, and I probably stayed there for probably a year in total, and and I met Werner in the bar, and we started talking, and we became very good friends, and he actually invited me to the house, and I came out there a few times, and we got to ride his John Deere lawnmower, and for me that was a big deal at that time, because I haven't seen one of those since I came from Denmark, and yeah, we were very good friends, and then he introduced me to racquetball, and we were playing racquetball all the time, and we were always sitting and talking after the game and about everything, and he was a very good talker. And I just remember that with racquetball, because as Dale said, that I was always impressed by how fit he was, even that he was quite a bit older than me, and I sometimes had a problem to keep up, but it was bothering him with his eyesight that he couldn't always see the ball, so sometimes he missed the ball, and he got so mad every time that he couldn't get the ball. But we also went out motorcycling together, and he even borrowed me his new BMW, and he rode the old one, and we went on a trip together. But he was also talking about his brother that he was complaining about he's not riding fast enough. I had to wait for him all the time. But that was Werner that he wants to go, but also that he was very particular about that. It needs to be a German, and also his cars needs to be a Mercedes and also motorcycle. Because I told him, hey, when you come to the US, you need to ride a Harley instead. No, I want to ride a BMW. That's the best. So yeah, I'll miss Werner very much. So thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we encourage you after the service, we're going to go next door for a lunch to continue to share those memories, share those stories with each other, with Werner's family, of the good man that Werner was. Now we're going to transition to another aspect of Werner's life, which was the military. Werner was a proud member of the United States military, so we're going to have a military presentation right in the chapel, and then we're going to dismiss right next door for a lunch, which everyone is welcomed to partake in. Thank you.
Another comrade has been called to the high command. We're gathered here to honor the memory Mr. Hudak, who served his country at a time of national need and is now enrolled in the Great Spirit Army. His footsteps cause no sound, but in the memory of man, their souls go marching on. Because of them, our lives are free. Because of them, the nation lives. And because of them, the world is blessed. May the ceremonies of today deepen our reverence for our dead. To you, the family and friends of Werner Hudak, we extend a deep and abiding sympathy for your loss. May you feel he is at rest and in endless peace. Should you need assistance from our organization, feel free to contact us. Farewell, my comrade. Farewell. This flag is presented on behalf of a grateful nation as a token of our appreciation for the honorable and faithful service rendered by your loved one. Very sorry. Sergeant, salute our fallen comrade.
Right, and cut. Present.